66 quarterbacks this season started a game in the NFL and did this. That tied a record in the National Football League that was set a year ago. Yeah, Schrader had a really rough day, and he had a rough day against Clemson and North Carolina, but today's tough day in the office was a little bit different. Last night, after the team dinner, Garrett Schrader suffered from food poisoning, Dino Babers told us after this contest, and it ultimately hindered him. He was dehydrated, he wasn't in the right mindset. Dino Babers said, quote, "It was coming out from all sides," and he moved his arms out wide, he outstretched them, and said it wasn't looking good for Garrett Schrader. So how did the conference shape up like this? Well, we'll start with the 4th seed in Notre Dame. The Irish lost to NC State on February 15th, but then knocked out 5 opponents in a row. Now, David, to wrap things up, I couldn't help but notice you're wearing the ring from Super Bowl 42.
Yeah, the rings and things.
Show it off to the camera.
That's what they said. The rings and things they sing about, bring them out.
Is that something you wear all the time or only for special occasions?
Only for special occasions.
In the first half of this matchup between Syracuse and Duke, it was a back-and-forth affair. A big reason why? Well, the Blue Devils on this end went 0 for 9 from beyond the arc. Duke still entered the halftime break with a 2-point lead. Both teams went to the locker room, talked some things out, but then in the second half, the Blue Devils came out and went 8 for 8 from three-point land on this end. Syracuse closed up the Dome last week with a big 10-point win over Pitt, but the 2 seed still in reach for the Orange. The only obstacle that stood in the way was NC State. The battle for a higher seed in that tournament happened in Raleigh late last week, so let's check out how it went down in Reynolds Coliseum. The last time Syracuse and NC State went head-to-head, you got to go back to the ACC tournament last year, the second round. The Wolfpack dominated the Orange, but early in this game, Deaja Fair started off hot. Fair with a 3-pointer to make it 5-5 early. Then, a few plays later, Fair, basically an identical 3, put Syracuse up 13-12. She had 6 3-pointers in this game, finished it with 26 points. On the other end, River Baldwin put this one home for 2. This game was back and forth. It's a common theme throughout this one, but Sanaya Rivers turns defense into offense. She finished this one with 22 points. NC State entered the halftime break up by 3. But in the second half, Isabel Verjao helped out on the offensive end. She went 1 for 5 from three-point land. Here's the bucket. She was wide open, got it to go, helped out this Syracuse offense, the Orange, up by 2 early in the second half. But this feed from Sanaya Rivers to the corner to Zoe Brooks. What a 3-pointer. Again, like I said, back and forth these 2 teams went, showing why they are the 2 powerhouses of the conference. Sanaya Rivers on the offensive end with that 3-pointer. She could do it from all 3 levels on the offensive side of the floor. She could also pass the rock well. Inside feed to River Baldwin, laid it in for 2. NC State led 66-64, 26 seconds to go. How does Syracuse respond? Well, an air ball 3 from Verjao. Latham gets the rebound. She's fouled, but is there any time left when Latham gets fouled? Let's see. She grabs the ball. She's fouled with 1/10 of a second to go. So Alyssa Latham, with the game in her hands, can she send this contest to the extra period? Well, let's look at the free throw. It's good. So the extra period, Syracuse and NC State go. Sophie Burrows makes it 69-68, just seconds into overtime. But that was it for Syracuse because NC State went on a late 5-0 run to pull the Wolfpack ahead. NC State was all over Syracuse in overtime. Madison Hayes iced the cake with just over a minute to go. NC State up 75-71 takes this one in Raleigh. "2022 was a year for Leon Lowry to step onto the scene. The linebacker contributed 1.5 sacks and had a big highlight early in the season.
Another low snap, looks off to the right, evades pressure in a moving pocket, is taken down! Leon Lowry, the backup linebacker, off the edge.
That moment in week 4 of last season against Virginia happened right behind me inside the Dome. Fast forward to 2023 and Lowry continues to improve. The linebacker has 2.5 sacks in front of his home crowd. But it's not about what he's doing in there, but how Lowry improved on the practice field right over there.
He changed his body from spring to the summer, and from the minute he came on the field during August, you could see that he was out to get something. And he's been determined ever since. He hasn't been doing it with this, he's been doing it with this. And when you do it the quiet way, not the loud way, normally everyone seems to see and hear what you're doing.
putting in more work in the weight room and on and off the field, like the little things like pass rush, reading my keys, coverage, everything came to the play. We're getting more film work with the coaches, all that stuff. I feel like changed over from last year.
Lowry picked up a sack last week against UNC, but in a new number 9. Changing from 16 to a single digit is a reward for hard work in the SU program, and Lowry is grateful.
Coach Baber was like, whoa, like, yeah, I know that you're starting and all, but like, you still need to like show more on the field. So I kind of took that as motivation for me to get my single digit because, you know, like I said, not everybody just could get a single digit here, so that felt good finally to be able to get one.
A number change leads to higher expectations, and the test against number 4 Florida State this Saturday is the toughest for Lowry all year. Ben Spector, Citrus TV.